Hello, BookTube. I've got a few books that came in the post in the mail. I did do unboxing of it halfway through. Uh, there was another knock on the door, but it wasn't a book or anything. But I am waiting for a DVD or a Blu-ray from uh, Amazon, so I might get interrupted again. We'll see. Uh, I got three books, and I opened the last one because I had a feeling it might be this one here. I think there's a more updated or newer version, but this is the one that I'd always sort of coveted and wanted. It's Science Fiction Magazine Story Index, 1926 to 1995 by Terry A. Murray. And he updated an older version by Day. I think it was somebody named Day that did it. But it's like I say, it's not complete, and it goes through each magazine by itself. But you do have an author index as well as a title index. So if you wanted to search up some, so it goes through all the magazines and each issue, what was in each issue, and it's just a cumulative index that way. So you got a number to search back to from the index. It's not huge. It's just under 600 pages with the index. This was published in 1999. I think it was 1999. Yeah, 1999 by McFarlane and Company. And I just stumbled across this again while I was looking for some other things, and decided, well, yeah, for £5, and I think it was £3 shipping, so I was more than happy to pay that for it. It's a bit rough, but it's all there. It looks like somebody was a collector of these, and there's a lot of pencil check marks throughout. So it doesn't say who the person who had it, but it looks like they had quite a substantial collection of science fiction magazines, as I did one time. Probably I had Astounding from mid 40s, patchily, but then almost every issue from 50s up to present, or present at the time, which was 20 years ago or so. About 20 years ago, yeah. And I had all of Galaxy magazine, the complete run, barring a few issues. Magazine of science fiction and fantasy. I had pretty well all of those. I did have all of the Asimov science fiction, and I was actually subscription. I had a subscription to it as well, so I had every single one of those, and other ones smattering of other ones. Just looking through here because I remember Galaxy. No, sorry, I mentioned Galaxy. Planet Stories, and then there's Worlds of If I had. This one here, Twilight Zone. I'm not quite sure about that one. That I'm not sure. And then yeah, Thriller Wonder Stories, Super Science Fiction, Planet Stories. Yeah, Imaginative Tales. That was, yeah, 50s. So most of mine was sort of post World War II, because anything to get even 40s or 30s was very difficult. I had probably 50 to 100. I probably, yeah, around probably 100 various old pulps. A few from the 20s that were just very, very rough and decaying, but quite a few from the 40s. And as it got further back in time, it was less and less. But most of what I had was 50 plus, 50 onward. But anyway, that's that. And the next one is this little book here. It's a little rough. It's rougher than I was expecting. It came from Germany. It's J.H. Slater, Round and About the Bookstalls. Um, he's done a number of books on book collecting, and this one is book collecting as well. It's not so much, well, it's just reminiscences by the looks of it as well about collecting books. It is published in 1891 by Al Upcott Gill, 170 The Strand in London, 1891. It's rounded about the bookstalls, a guide for the book hunter by J. Herbert Slater. And it looks very much to me like it's a bit of glossy pages, but it so much looks like a school book, a school textbook. It's the same size, and just the same feel of it as well. It's got cocked spine, so I'll have to look through it. There might be, there looks short enough, and there should be some reading in here for our essays, so I'll get to look at that. The other one was sort of a bit of an impulse buy. I was looking up because I want to get a DVD or a Blu-ray of Robert Siodmak's The Spiral Staircase with Dorothy McGuire. Sort of a film, sort of film noirish, but it's very, very atmospheric. And I thought I'd get the book it was based on, Some Must Watch by Ethel Lena White. She was a popular crime novel, well, sort of more or less crime novelist, but I think totally forgotten now, other than this book that people may sort of associate her with, and with the Wheel Turns. I think it's the original, the book title, and it's The Lady Vanishes that Hitchcock filmed in 1939, and I really enjoy that film and the book. And I had the book before. I read it, and all I remember is that it was extremely different than the film, but it is something I want to get again because Lady Vanishes is one of my favorite films. And I had a thought of possibly reading the book and then discussing the book and then watching the film, discussing the film and say the differences. So do in a sense a review of the book and compare it to the film. I don't know if anybody would be interested in that because there's a lot that can be done. I've got a lot of silence that can be done on as well. There could be times where I could do a silent film plus a sound film plus a radio play. A lot of these were done as radio plays as well, and see what was left out, what was used, how things had changed throughout. If anybody does think that that's a good idea, do shout out in the comments. It's not something that I'm going to do immediately, but it was something that I'm going to do personally for myself, is to read the book and then watch the film and compare them in my mind. But if anybody else would like a little glimpse into my mind, then do let me know. But otherwise, that's it for today. As I say, I'm waiting for an Amazon Blu-ray, I think, of Stalag 17. It was cheap, so I've been picking up a few Blu-rays over the last few weeks to supplement sort of my reading. I suppose I needed something else to watch, and there was a few things that I sort of catered and wanted to watch that I hadn't watched for a few decades, I think. So anyway, I'll leave it there. I'll be back later today with another essay, and I think I will try to find something out of this one there, Slater's round and about the bookstalls, and see what we can come up with there. Anyway, I will speak to you later, BookTube. Goodbye.